Yeah. So like Heather said, this is geared for kids, frequently asked questions about COVID-19, but also some coping skills for children coping with COVID-19. So start off, what is COVID-19? And you can learn more about COVID-19 in a video that Brain Pop has done. I do highly recommend it. You can see the link for it up here. Oops. Technology. So COVID-19 is a respiratory virus, which means it hurts your lungs, makes it hard to breathe. You can see a picture of COVID right over here, next to where we wrote it. That's what COVID looks like under a microscope. Corona means crown. You might have also heard COVID-19 called corona. And the reason we call it that is because of those little spikes that you can see under a microscope on COVID. So how do we get COVID? CO means corona, VI means virus, D means disease, and 2019 was the year COVID was discovered. So that's where we get COVID-19 and corona. What is a virus? There's a picture right here. You can see all those little blue dots. Those are all the virus. A virus is a germ. It's so small that you can't see it without a very special kind of microscope. So your usual microscope that you see on TV cannot see it. Viruses are like many germs. They make us sick, and they will die if they can't find somebody to live in. Viruses try to get into our bodies to make more viruses and spread to more people. That's why when a lot of people watch a YouTube video or a TikTok, we say it's gone viral, meaning lots of people have watched it. It has spread all over, just like viruses do. You can learn more about viruses with Dr. Panda on YouTube. You can see the link for that at the bottom of the screen. So how do we catch COVID-19? Well, viruses cannot move without our help. They don't have legs, they don't have wings. If a virus is outside our body, it will die after a long while, and it will not be able to get anyone sick. If we sneeze, cough, touch our faces, especially our nose, our mouth, we can spread germs. This is why if you are sick, you need to stay away from other people. Cover your mouth, wash your hands. And like Elmo teaches, you cough in your elbow, not your hands, because you cough on your hands. Then you touch something, you will get that virus or whatever you sneezed out on whatever you touch. You can learn more about hand washing and how germs spread on Sesame Street, or if you prefer something a little for older kids, you can watch an episode of Mythbusters where we see how quickly a virus can spread when we don't wash our hands when we eat. If you sneeze, cough, touch something with germs, touch your face, you're gonna need to wash your hands. Anything you then touch can then cover with germs. If you not wash your hands, then any germs will spread to someone else or on something else. Washing hands means 20 seconds with soap and water and covering all of your hands. We do know that soap does get the virus off your hands. Hand sanitizer works too, but soap is better. So if you're gonna sneeze, cough, touch something that's already germs, touch your face or eat, please wash your hands. How do you stay healthy? Wash your hands with soap and water before and after you eat. We should always do it after going to the bathroom and after touching anything that might be germs. So that could mean going outside and playing in the dirt. It could be, playing with a dog, making sure that those hands stay clean. And not touching your face, not picking your nose, not sticking your fingers in your mouth. If you have to, then wash your hands before and after. That way, when you stick your fingers in your mouth, you won't have germs on it. And when you take your hand out, you can wash any germs that are on your hand off. Practice social distancing. Social distancing means staying 6 feet, that's 72 inches, from other people that are outside your home. So that means if you're out at the grocery store or at the park, then you want to be at least 6 feet away, 72 inches. Because if you sneeze, or if you're breathing, you got germs, you might get them on someone else. So 6 feet away. When we talk about social distancing, we talk about staying home. So not going places where there's big groups of people. So at school, there's all those other kids in our classroom. At the playground, there's all those other kids playing on the playground. And you know what? They're touching the monkey bars, and then you're touching the monkey bars. So if they have germs on their hands and they touch the monkey bars, and then you touch the monkey bars, now you have their germs. And then if you go play with some more friends, they'll get the same germs. This is why everyone's staying home. Stay away from groups of people unless a grown-up says it's an okay place to be. This is just a funny picture. I don't know that we want to do this to people, but maybe it will help us not touch our faces, huh? We know that dogs don't like wearing those either. But yep, no touching faces, no picking your nose, keeping those hands clean. What if you catch COVID? Most children who get COVID only get mild symptoms. This means they don't feel as sick as grown-ups do. We know that grown-ups sometimes get a fever. That's where you feel very hot. They sometimes have a cough. And sometimes have trouble breathing. But most kids just don't get that sick. If you do not feel well, tell a grown-up who can help you talk to a doctor about what is going on. The doctor might give you a test. That's usually just taking a Q-tip and putting it in your nose. Very gently, they won't hurt you. And they're going to ask you some questions, like have you been staying at home? Have you gone around someone that's been sick? Have you been washing your hands? If you have COVID, they're going to ask you to stay home and stay away from people and rest, just like you do when you have a cold. We don't want you to get other people sick if you're sick. And staying home and rest is the best way to get better. Most children who catch COVID don't even have to go to the doctor's office and don't have to go to the hospital. There are some kids that do, but most don't. So if you catch COVID, you're probably not going to go to the doctor's office or to the hospital. Grown-ups will help take care of you and help you get better. They'll be the ones that'll let you know if you need to take medicine, if you need to go to the doctor's office, if it's a cold or if it's COVID. So make sure you're letting your grown-ups know what you need and what's going on. What does flattening the curve mean, and when will things go back to normal? You guys have probably heard a lot of people say flattening the curve. It's a very fancy way to say we're trying to help less people catch COVID and get sick. So the curve is just our way of describing that. We don't want so many people sick. We want people to be better. So when you hear someone say flattening the curve, what they mean is we're trying to help people stay healthy and not get other people sick. Remember how COVID can't live very long outside our bodies? COVID does not have legs. It does not have wings. It cannot move on its own. It needs our help to pass to other people. So if we're sneezing on somebody, that helps COVID move. If we're getting germs on our hand and touching someone else, that's the only way COVID can move. If we just leave it where it is, it will die and it won't get anybody sick. If less people are sick, people are staying home, then we can start going back to being with groups of people. That's why everything is closed right now. Because if we were all at school, all of our friends would be getting sick. If we're going to a restaurant, we might get our family sick, other people at the restaurant, the waitress. If we go to the playland at McDonald's, we're going to get all that sick all over the balls in that ball pit. That wouldn't be good. We don't want people sick. We want people to feel well. So that's why everything is closed right now. There's a few things that are open, but we're only supposed to go to those if we really, really need to. No one knows when things are going to go back to normal. No one knows when the stores are going to open yet, because we've got to make sure everyone's following the rules and that we don't have a bunch of people that are sick. So every day, they're counting to see how many people are sick, how many new people got sick. And that again goes back to flattening the curve. Remember, we're trying to get less people sick. Now, if we get it so that a lot of people are not getting sick and all the people are doing really well, then we can start going back to school, going to the grocery stores, going to the parks, going to all those fun places we like. But that's not until we're sure that things are better. And that's why no matter what someone tells you, no one knows for sure when things are going to open. We're going to have to figure it out as we learn more about how many people are sick. So if you want to help it go back to normal, you got to help by following the rules. Keeping your hands clean, not going to places with large groups of people. Always check with your adults, your grown-ups that you trust, on whether a place is safe to go. So there's something we call myths. Those are things that people say that aren't entirely true, but some people believe them. And there's been a lot of myths about COVID. One of them is you can tell that someone has COVID by how they look or where they live. Just because someone comes from a certain place does not mean they have COVID. Just because they're wearing a mask or look a certain way does not mean they have COVID. They could have a cold. They could have allergies. You can't tell if someone has COVID by how they look. Spending a lot of time in the sunshine, taking hot baths, cold weather, hot weather, spraying yourself with alcohol will not protect you from getting COVID. Some people think that, but that's not how it works. Some people who are sick with COVID do not feel very sick. So it's important to be very careful with keeping away from people and washing your hands. Remember earlier we said that kids get mild symptoms, meaning they don't get very sick. So sometimes you meet somebody who doesn't look sick, they don't feel very sick, but they do have COVID germs. And that's one of the other reasons we're asking everyone to stay home. We want everyone to be safe, not get ill. COVID is not caused by cell phones or 5G, mosquitoes, or any one person or group of people. It's caused by germs. Most pets, like cats and dogs, cannot pass COVID germs. Some can get it, but they can't pass it to humans. Now, if you're not sure if you have an animal that's not a cat or a dog, if they could get COVID and pass it to you, check with a vet. That's an animal doctor. COVID is new, so we're learning all kinds of new things about it every day. So some days you might hear one thing, and the next day hear something different. So make sure if you're getting information about COVID, you're getting it from someone that you trust, a grown-up who knows about it. You can learn more about COVID myths at our link at the bottom for WHO, which is the World Health Network, and they list all these myths and more about COVID. Our immune system. Our bodies have a way to help us from getting sick called an immune system. It stops germs from getting in our bodies and destroys germs that get in your bodies. You can learn more about how this works by watching a Magic School Bus episode called Inside Ralphie. It's a little old school, but I promise it's fun. It's a good show. There's a link to it at the Daily Motion. You could also watch Osmosis Jones. That's a cartoon movie that came out in the 2000s. Also talks about how immune systems work. Germs can't get through our skin unless you have a cut. That's why I put Band-Aids on cuts, so they can't get through. Our nose uses mucus, or boogers, some of you know them as that, to keep stuff from going inside our bodies. So that's why it's sticky. That's also why when you sneeze, we want you to not sneeze on your hands or on people. But that is what's going to keep them from getting in your nose. Our eyes also have special chemicals that keeps germs from getting in our eyes. Our bodies are made of very small pieces called cells. Now, some of the cells in our body are very special, and they're called white blood cells. White blood cells are our own little army in our body. They destroy any germs, viruses, bacteria, anything that gets in our body that doesn't belong. So everyone's body has something like that. There are some people who have immune systems that don't work. They're immune compromised. That means their white blood cells don't work as well as some of the rest of everybody. So when someone asks you not to go near somebody, like maybe someone that's older or someone that might have an illness that makes their immune system not work, and they say they're immune compromised, that's what that means. We really want to keep those people safe because their immune system can't fight the germs as well as you and I can. Yeah, I know, this whole situation really stinks. It's really frustrating, as our little angry kitty shows. It does really stink. And I know everyone hates being away from our friends, from our families, not being able to do fun things. And it's okay to be upset. It's okay to be mad. It's okay to be scared, upset. It's okay to be really frustrated. It's not okay to be mean to others just because you're upset. It will not make you feel better. It will not make the situation go away. And it's going to make other people feel upset. It's okay to be mad. Don't be mean. There is a difference, guys, and I know most of you know the difference. You don't have to be happy about all these big changes. Again, it really is okay to be upset. There are some things we can do to feel better. We call those coping skills. Coping skills are things you can do to feel better and safer, calmer when something's upsetting you. Things are going to be different. They are going to change. And like I said before, we don't know when things are going to start getting normal again. But let's talk about some things we can do to feel better. So one type of coping skill is called distraction. And most of you guys are really good at this already. So distraction is doing something fun to help you not think about what's bothering you. So some things you guys might already know, talking to someone you like to talk to. You could FaceTime them, Zoom them, send a letter, text. It does not have to be in person because remember, we're staying away from people that don't live in our homes. Play a game, a video game, a board game, charades, hide and seek, tic-tac-toe, Pictionary. There are a lot of games. I bet you guys know way more games than I do. Play scavenger hunts. Have an adult make a list of things to find or that have been missing. Create something new, draw something, color something, do a craft, build something. Learn something new, how to draw, how to speak a new language, how to do origami. Try to learn something new that might be more fun than thinking about how stressful things are. Draw or write your own comic book or story. Make a movie or play. I would love to see some more YouTube videos. I've seen some really cool ones by kids lately. Love to see what some of you guys have come up with. Make up stories about your toys like they're in Toy Story or Lego Movie. Even film them or write them down. Again, I would love to see them. Make up your own secret code. You don't have to tell anyone what it is, but go ahead and make one. Share it with your friends or your brothers and sisters. Then maybe you guys can keep some secrets from mom and dad. Here's some other fun things you guys can do to distract. Yes, puzzles are fun if your cat will share. You can actually watch live streams, so videos of what's going on at all the zoos. So there's a giraffe that's in Disney World. And you could also make posters for your room. So this one was made using a stamp. You can make your own stamps using potatoes. I don't know if your mom or dad has potatoes. You could learn how to make your own stamps and your own new posters for your room. Coping skill type 2, critical thinking. So it's using your brain to think about a problem in a new way, to change how you feel about the problem. So that might mean brainstorming, to come up with a lot of ideas to fix what's bothering you or make it less upsetting. I know some of you aren't necessarily bothered by COVID, but maybe you're bothered by your brother and sister bothering you, or maybe you're bothered that mom and dad won't let you go where you want to go. Brainstorm some ways to make it work. Think about if the problem is something you can fix, and if not, what are you in control of? None of us are in control of when this is over. None of us get to choose when the school's open. None of us are that powerful or in charge. So really thinking about, is worrying about it gonna fix it? Is it gonna make it better? Can you fix it? And if you can't, maybe it's a problem you shouldn't worry about. Maybe that's a time for a distraction. Journal, that could be writing down what you're thinking or feeling, or some of you don't like to write, you can draw what you're feeling. Talk it out with somebody. Tell somebody what you're feeling. Tell them what you think. Write a list of pros and cons, so things that are going good for you, things that are going not good for you. One of the pros of being home and away from school is no dress code, guys. You get to wear what you want to wear. And if you really want to dye your hair pink, maybe mom will let you, because there's no rules about that when school's out. What are some good things that might happen because of this? Well, maybe we'll stay safer. Maybe next year this won't happen again. Think of some good things about being home with your family. Maybe you're getting to know your brothers and sisters better. Maybe you're getting mom and dad's attention more. There are sometimes good things, even when a bad thing happens. Talk to someone you trust about what's upsetting you, and maybe work with that person on how you can make it better. Like I said, you can't fix COVID, but maybe talking with mom and dad about how you can get your brother or sister to leave you alone and give you some space might help.
Eso en un webinar ya. En las preguntas y respuestas para los niños.
Gabriella, could you please hit mute? So all right. Coping skill type 3, emotional release. Our little dancers there. So you could stomp your feet. You could sing really loud with angry music. You could find something funny to laugh at and laugh a lot. You could express how upset you are to someone who will listen in a way that's not mean. We don't want to yell at people and hurt their feelings, but we can tell them how we're feeling. Always follow the rules and laws so no one gets in trouble. Don't break rules just because you're feeling upset. Expressing your emotions in a health safety way is how we do a proper emotional release. That means making sure no one gets hurt. So crying or yelling in a way that does not hurt others. So crying with somebody, yelling not at somebody, or maybe yelling outside. Where I was living last year in Wyoming, everyone's going out at 8 at night and howling at the moon. If your parents are okay with it, I think that's a fun way to express how upset you are. Exercise like running, throwing a ball against the wall, throwing pillows, or having a pillow fight. Again, follow your family's rules. Don't do something that's going to get you in trouble. But sometimes that helps with your feelings. Ripping up pieces of paper that are okay to rip. Drawing out your feelings, so drawing what you feel. Draw a volcano if you feel like you're going to explode. Sometimes putting those feelings out makes us feel better. Grounding. That's using one or all 5 senses to feel safe, calm, or happy. So look at pictures of things that make you feel happy, safe, or calm, like pictures of family, friends, the ocean, animals, funny memes. Draw your own pictures. This is one of my family's dogs, Harper. Looking at her face always makes me happy. Listen to your favorite music. Listen to someone you like to talk to and focus on their voice. Listen to a comedian. Play soothing sounds like a rainstorm. Smell your favorite smells. If you have scented markers or crayons, listen to your mother and ask if you can maybe use her perfume. Smell that. Lotions. Ask if you guys can bake some cookies. I love the smell of cookies when they're baking. And you also taste them. There's another sense. We love the taste of cookies. Eat some of your favorite foods or treats. Again, make sure you're following the rules with mom and dad on that. But that can be a fun way to feel better when you're not feeling so great. Play with putty. Pet your cat or dog. Play with someone fun. Wrap it in a nice warm sweater or blanket. Do things that make you feel good using your 5 senses. Again, always stay safe. Always follow the rules. But those can be things that can help us feel better. Self-love. So self-love is doing things for yourself that make you feel good. So watch your favorite movie with popcorn. Paint your nails. Wear your most comfy clothes. I know some of you guys are wearing pajamas all day. Those can be pretty comfy. Call or FaceTime your best friend. Color in a coloring book. Make an ice cream sundae. I have a lovely example up there in the corner. Make a pillow fort and have some me time. Cuddle. Take a bubble bath. Make yourself a nice gift or a piece of jewelry. Ask your children for food, for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or maybe for a snack. Sometimes those things help us feel better. Helping others. Sometimes when we can't fix the things that are happening to us, it helps to help someone feel better. That could be calling or talking to someone who's feeling lonely. Maybe your grandparents, maybe your friends, maybe an aunt or a cousin. Send a letter or package to someone you care about. Maybe find some fun things in your house that you want to send them. Or write them a really cool long letter. It's fun to get something in the mail sometimes. With a grown-up, bring some food to the food bank. Some people are having trouble getting food right now. So that can be a really nice thing to do for somebody and make you feel good. Send a thank you card to someone who's helping you or is helping the world. So maybe you want to send it to grandma or one of your friends, but maybe you also want to send it to a doctor or a nurse or a firefighter or a policeman. Your parents can help you do that if you have something in mind. You can draw your own card, you can buy a card, do something fun. Send an email, video, or letter to your teacher. Your teachers do miss you guys. So it can be really nice for them to hear from you. Tell them what you're doing at home. Send them a picture. They would love to hear from you. Ask your parents if there's something you can do to help at home. Sometimes mom and dads get really stressed when this stuff happens. So ask them, can I help? See if maybe some of your neighbors need help. Maybe someone needs help walking their dogs. Maybe someone could really use someone calling them. Ask your mom and dad, your grandma, whoever your trusted adult is, what you can do to help. Use chalk to draw a pretty picture for people to see. I've seen it a lot of kids are doing that right now, drawing beautiful pictures and messages out on the sidewalk. A lot of people love seeing them, so it can be a fun thing to do. It's a great way to show off your art skills. Do something nice for the mailman. I know the mailman's always picking up our mail and sometimes leaving us packages, but a nice note really can make your mailman's day. Send a video message to friends or family that you miss. There's a lot of different apps that can do that. Look through your clothes and toys. See if there's anything you don't need anymore. Maybe you can donate it to someone who needs it. Send a note to the local nursing home. So nursing homes are places where people who are a lot older, so grandmas and grandpas, have to live because they need someone to help them with stuff. And right now we're not letting anyone visit them because we really don't want them to get sick. When you get older, your immune system does not work as well. So we're not letting them have any visitors. And some of them are really lonely. So they might really love a picture from you or a note. And it might be a fun way to make a new friend. Some of you guys might not remember Mr. Rogers. Some of you might even still be watching him. He's still on TV. And I really love this quote that he said. So when he was a little boy, there were a lot of scary things happening in the news. And he's very right. If you are feeling scared, if you're seeing scary things in the news, one, turn off the news. But also look for the people that are helping. For all the bad things that you see happening out there, there's just as many good things. People that are helping solve COVID. Doctors, nurses, people that are helping people that are struggling to get food. People that are doing nice things for people in the grocery store. There's always good people helping. And I do think that you all should be helpers too. Here's a long list of boredom cures. I don't know how many of you guys have done these already. Make the ultimate blanket for it. I mean it, guys. Get all the blankets and sheets out. Get the pillows. Make it comfy. Teach your pet a new trick. Make posters for your room. Decide what places in the world you want to see someday and plan a trip. Invent something cool. Learn how to make your favorite sodas from Fizz or Swig at home. Look up the recipes. Most of them you can make at home. Have your own spirit week. Remember, we're not at school, so do a crazy hair day. Do a backwards day. Have a crazy hack day. Make your own obstacle course or Olympics. Learn how to make your own flip book. Make a photo journal about something important to you. See if you can use a camera or someone's cell phone and take some pretty cool pictures. Look up a unique holiday and celebrate it at home, or have a holiday you like on the wrong date. Like have a Christmas even though it's April. Halloween, maybe wear your Halloween costumes to dinner because you can. Maybe celebrate Valentine's Day because you know what? It's fun. Start a story with someone. Just write one sentence, have someone else write the next sentence. You can do this with someone at home or with your phone, even with mail. Learn how to make something, like make your own jewelry. Learn how to find constellations. Those are pictures in the sky that are made out of stars. See if you can find some at night. Have a backyard camp out. Have an unbirthday celebration. So unbirthdays are days that are not our birthdays, but we have a birthday party. Learn how to do things with your left hand if you're right-handed. Learn how to do things with your right hand if you're left-handed. Make a treasure hunt. Have someone hide something and make you a map. Have some karaoke time with your family. Maybe have some good singers in your family. There's not too many in mine, but maybe you guys have some. Watch a television show that's really old. See if it's as good as the shows you watch. Might not be, but give it a try. Find as many pennies in the house as you can and maybe save up for something cool. Ride a virtual ride at Disneyland or Disney World. So all those animal pictures you saw are from my trip to Disney World I made several years ago. Most of the rides at those places you can ride on YouTube. So you can see exactly what they look like. Make your own list of boredom cures and share them with people. A lot of people are bored right now. And yes, those are my babies. Scamp and Frey. I really appreciate y'all listening, and I hope that everyone will help us stay healthy. And if you guys have questions, please, I'd love to hear them.